on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. I love this weather today. Very cold and the rain has come indeed. So let's revel in the moment and also talk about things that affect us as a people. So you understand the whole essence of the program. It is to just survey the environment and see how we can help ourselves to a better environment and society. So let's do this business again today. And let's start by asking you to join us on Facebook. Okay, so we're live streaming on Facebook. Just go to www.facebook.com/Splash FM 105.5 Ibadan. And you'll find the sight and sound. Okay, so just look for Splash FM in short, and you'll find us in the pictures and the video as well. That's one of it. The second of it is that I will be talking about something close to heart again today. Last week we were talking about the pollution, plastic pollution, and all that in commemoration of the World Environment Day that came upon us last Saturday. So today I'm continuing that conversation. Of course, I'm also talking about the environment today, and essentially talking about street trading. And that's the whole essence of it. So when you look around you, okay, driving down to the office earlier today, you observed that you had people selling all sorts of wares around the roads and in many places. Many places where you find traffic jams or traffic holdups or go slow, as we refer to them in this country. It is very, very, very likely that you find traders, or if you like, the Okada riders or Keke riders, or all these issues that hang around our roads and all that. So they have implications for the aesthetics, the planning itself, and they also have implications on how the policies of government, really impact all of us. So if, for instance, a challenge here, we're talking about the challenge, bus stop. Last week on our Splash Rendezvous, we were saying that you need to really be there to understand what we're saying. That those who were trading there, they've been pushed back, they've been asked to go to a certain place and all that. But if people still continue to hang around that place, it will basically obstruct traffic and also do some injustice really to the aesthetics of that construction going on there. So we'd like to talk about this today. So the flip side of it, I'll be talking about the federal government's, action plan regarding the preponderance of, attacks of criminality, of kidnapping, and so on and so forth around. And that over the weekend, we woke up on Sunday to the news of the Ibadan attack, where many people were killed and maimed. You also know about the Benue incident, where a lot of people were killed. Even Kebbi, about 88 persons were killed as well by bandits, or if you like, unknown gunmen. I will be speaking with someone in the presidency. Is the senior special assistant to the president on public affairs. I'll be getting to just allow him tell us what the government's plans are regarding security or insecurity. It depends on where you stand, in your choice of words. I hope to do that much, much later on the program today. But meanwhile, let's talk about the phenomenon of street trading and how it impacts the environment. Okay, I was reading something before coming onto the microphone, looking at how street trading really affects the environment, the aesthetics, the pollution, and all that, even traffic congestion. All these ones will be bringing to the table. So I have with me here in the studio, let me bring her straight to the microphone. She is a professor of urban planning and environmental management. She is a registered town planner as well. She represents women in town planning. Mrs. Professor Grace Olukoi. I hope I got that.
That's okay. Thank you. Good afternoon.
When you say that's okay, I'm not satisfied with it. Did I get the name?
Olukoi.
Olukoi. Okay, Olukoi. Okay. So it sounds like I added Y to it. Okay, so let's talk now about street trading. Essentially, I've said, the things that I know as a broadcaster. About street trading. Educate us exactly. What do you mean by street trading?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Michael, for having me here today. I'm here this afternoon representing the forum, Women in Town Planning. And that's Oyo State chapter because it's a group that we have in the 36th state of the Federation. And our assignment is actually to support what the Nigeria Institute of Town Planner is doing in preserving the environment, in planning our environment for aesthetics, for safety, for convenience, and for sustainability. So as Women Wing, what we are doing is to go a step further, especially in advocacy. That's what we do. So this time around, we are dealing with the issue of street trading. So to your question, what is street trading? It's actually informal commercial activities that have been brought to where transportation networks are. We have road, rail, at least in Nigeria. Those two are prominent. We don't do street trading in our harbor. We are close to the sea, and even in the airport, that's not allowed. But along the rail lines, along the road, you will see. So anytime we have traders bringing their wares for display, for hawking, along the transportation networks, that is street trading. And by design of our roads and even rail, there's always the place where road users are supposed to be, pedestrian, the vehicular, where they're supposed to be. And after that, we will normally see where we have designed that is supposed to be a setback. Either you need to park because your car is giving you a sign that something is wrong, or that's supposed to be there. But you discover that today in Nigeria, traders will now come to where that setback. In fact, at times they move. They encroach. They encroach into even the real road line for the vehicular movement. And the impact of this is that at the end of the day, the narrowed road becomes more narrowed. Because we have encroached into it. So the part that's supposed to be for vehicular and pedestrian movement has been shortened. And we are supposed not to be hold up ordinarily.
You find
at
it there.
Different intersection junctions, you just see hold up. And for us, you are there. So we waste time. And time wastage is actually life wastage. And it has economic value. It's just a pity that in this country we are not being paid per hour. So it means that if you have hold up somewhere and instead of getting to work 8 o'clock, you get there by 9. So that an hour payment goes away. But because here we take monthly.
So it affects productivity.
So it affects our productivity. And again, it threatens our lives. So for traders, they are there for survival.
Yes.
But like the Yoruba will not put it, but you discover that most of the time they are at risk.
Okay, so
that's just what I want us to understand, that when we are saying street trading, we are looking at the traders, we are looking at all other road users, and we are looking at the government, because we are all involved in what is happening there.
We are all in this web called, humanity. I like your explanation. Informal commercial trading that goes on, by the roads and all that. And you also said that these people encroach and then shorten the space that those who are using the roads for, for mobility are supposed to get. And you find it, almost everywhere. You go to Bere, Idiarere,
in most urban centers in Nigeria,
Agodi Gate, and Challenge, in most urban places, and in places where you have high volume of people and traffic. Now, one big question for me is, I know that it has strong impact on the environment. So, however beautiful the environment or the city or the town or the village is, this street trading phenomenon, takes the shine off whatever it is that government might have put in place there. We don't usually see it that way. Why?
We don't see it that way
because
most of
we
the
just
time,
want to survive.
No, I said it that most traders on the streets are there for survival.
Yes.
And with a stakeholders meeting we have done in our forum, we discovered that many of the traders on the street, they even own shops.
Mm-hmm.
So they would leave the shops and come to the street to display their wares. And some, they don't have, but they're just cutters and floaters. That they're just looking for a way to just do something to earn their living. And if government is bringing in beautiful designs that, this is the way our road will look like and all that, have we seen it as our projects or government's projects? That's why when any government of the day does anything in terms of beautification of the city, widening of roads, do we sustain that? If they say legislation against it, that, okay, don't do street trading again, move your wares, go to so place we have prepared for you. If they don't do it, who punishes them for floating?
The punishment doesn't come because
there are no consequences. If there's consequences, I'll tell you that human being, we change when we see that there's consequences to whatever we have done wrong.
The only consequence for street trading is the instrument of accident. So some people,
but once we weep over the bereaved and over the one that
go back to the roads.
2 or 3 days we are back.
So what exactly? I will come to that question really, but it bothers me a lot that we're always saying any government or government policy that seems to take people off the streets and to a certain place for commercial purposes as punishment. We always say that that's the way we see it. What exactly at the level of women in town planning, what exactly have you been able to put to the table in order to you were talking about advocacy. Let me know how much of this advocacy you've taken to those people.
Okay. That's why we see it as stakeholders involvement. It's not just about the traders. And also, we need to hear them. So at our end, we have gone to different markets, places in Ibadan, the Bodija, Sango, trying to hear them. Why are you here? Someone say, no, if I'm in the shop, nobody will come to me. Meaning that the buyers too.
Okay, so the buyers are also poor people.
Especially the elites. You're coming from your secretariats, from your office, from your university, and instead of parking properly inside Bodija market, say, Sare muwa. So it's not just the trader. If they have not been patronized, they will not be there. So anytime there is a giver, there's a taker.
Wow.
So we have listened to them and we have discovered that most of the time is because they have seen people that are patronizing them. That's why some of them are still there. Then in asking them to leave that place, in town planning, it is now planning with
them. Rather than planning for them.
Don't plan for them. You must carry them along. So even though legislation is good, but you will discover that we are failing in terms of implementing the policies because we don't carry them along.
That speaks to the question about whether policy makers or those who evolve policy for government really do what you call simulation before they come up with policies. They don't engage. You are a registered town planner. How much of engagement goes around when government, is trying to make, plans about urban transformation or urban, planning and all these beautiful urban projects? How much of engagement goes into it?
Yeah, I do. I'm familiar with Oyo State very well. That, for instance, when the state government was embarking on the master plan for Ibadan, there are so many stakeholders meeting. The traditional rulers, market women, professionals. They were engaging each one of them. And also when they were doing this project on the Ibadan flood management, they were engaging communities.
Okay.
The essence of all this engagement is to hear them, to give them a voice. Because you may think you are doing them good by just asking them, oh, don't do this thing, stop. They want to know why. And you also, technocrats, you need to tell them that, okay, if you do this, this is what it means. If you do the opposite, this is what it means. I think generally as a community, there's a need for behavioral shifts.
Okay.
In looking at town planning as our project, not government's legislation. The people in the parliament can be there and make policy statements. But the actual implementation will work better with advocacy, with integration of the people that will be impacted or that will impact the policy implementation. So on street trading now, I know state governments have given a lot of ultimatum to people in certain junctions that, okay, please vacate, move to so place, and they have not moved. In fact, they may move on Friday.
And then return on Monday.
On Monday, they are back.
It boils down to political will.
So it now means that, do we have the political will to implement it?
We'll come to answer some of these questions when we come back from this break. It's still talking points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. Street trading is still the matter on the table. Please don't go away.
Splash FM 105.5.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ojúlówó Nasco cornflakes kún fún èròjà tí ń ṣara lóore tó dára nítorí wípé all flaked cornflakes náà ni. All flaked cornflakes ní apilẹ̀ṣe ní ìlànà tí gbogbo èròjà ṣara lóore inú rẹ̀ ò fi lè yingin. Oúnjẹ aṣara lóore ni, adùn inú rẹ̀ afẹnuwó, ó sì dára fún gbogbo ẹbí. Nítorí náà, tí àtijẹ cornflakes bá dé, rí i dájú pé all flaked Nasco cornflakes ló yàn láàyò. Oúnjẹ aládùn tó dára ní gbogbo ìgbà.
láti ní ojúlówó mọ̀ tó nílò tó fi darapọ̀ mọ́ṣẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ tó sì dakọ́ṣẹ́ mọṣẹ́ tí mùṣemúṣe ẹ̀dá múṣẹ́ yàtọ̀. Splash FM Media Academy ti pèsè ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó gàgàǹgbá fún gbogbo ẹni tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ láti dojúlówó agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ tàbí ẹni tó fẹ́ fìmọ̀ kúmọ̀ nídìí iṣẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ tẹ́sí gbàwé ẹ̀rí mú yege. Àwọn ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ Splash FM Media Academy dá lórí Introduction to Presentation, Program and Content Development, Journalism, Basic Production, Digital Media, Yorùbá Presentation, tó ń ti ìtọ́sọ́nà lórí ìṣẹ́yọni pẹ̀lú àwọn gbajúgbajà agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́. Fún ìforúkọsílẹ̀ àti ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ẹ lọ sí Splash FM Media Academy tó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ White House Fẹ́lẹ́lẹ̀ Ìbàdàn tàbí kẹ́ ẹ kàn sójú òpó ìtàkùn àgbáyé wa pẹ̀lú www.splashfm1055.com/academy 0705-439-3332 tàbí 0805-699-8676. ẹ sì lè kàn sórí Facebook àti Instagram wa @Splash FM Media Academy. Mú àlá rẹ ṣẹ láti dojúlówó agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ lónìí. Splash FM Media Academy à ń fọmọlúwàbí ṣe iṣẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ lọ́jọ́.
Enter the place and it brighten. Make everybody they wonder. Waiting me cause all the shine. Lush hair, lush hair. Long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair, lush hair. So you want to slay? Slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Straight or curly. You know they tango. Lie. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. You wonder how I shine like this. I'm on a lush hair, be the coco. Say you want to know. And if you wanna be fine like me, I can show you where to go. A lush hair, be the coco.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
If you had the clearest camera designed for the best selfies on a smartphone, where would you take your first picture?
Probably at the beach with the backdrop of the midnight skies.
At the cinema. It's dark and all, but for the best selfie, darkness shouldn't be a thing, right?
Or maybe I'll take it in front of my favorite suya spot. Some soft light and legendary suya in the background.
Wherever you choose, stand out with the new Techno-Common 17 smartphone. With its 48MP selfie lens for the clearest selfie, 64MP ultra-night camera for stunning pictures in low light, and the MediaTek Helio G95 processor for quality gaming and streaming performance. Techno-Common 17. It's time to stand out.
You can rest assured we will take this jolly ride with you. I'll bet it's on you, 'cause you are a winner. We'll win with you. We'll run with you all the way. We'll share your dreams and we'll turn them to reality. We're invested in your tomorrow.
ARM. Invested in your tomorrow.
Do you need a fully furnished, nice and comfortable hostel accommodation in University of Ibadan? Or a place for seminars and executive trainings at the same venue? You do not have to worry. Adebayo Akonde Hall suits your lodging needs and provides you a home away from home. Adebayo Akonde Hall is a 4-star hostel built in a serene environment with constant supply of electricity. It has fully furnished rooms that gives you great comfort at an affordable price. Adebayo Akonde Hall is located at Ajibode Extension, University of Ibadan. To make reservations, visit www.adebayohall.com or call the numbers 0805-699-8718, 0805-699-8719, 0805-699-8720. Adebayo Akonde Hall. Built for comfort. Built for you.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pains wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Splash FM 105.5.
All right, you're still talking points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. Welcome back. Before that break, I was talking about street trading. I still have Professor Grace Olukoyi in the house. She is a professor of urban planning and environmental management, a registered town planner with the Leeds City University Ibadan here. But she's here on the instance of women in town planning. Okay, madam, let's talk about this part of the conversation that I thought I should dwell on a little. It has to do with, I know we were talking about urban planning and the rest of it a while ago. There's this phenomenon called smart city. How does street trading, affect, the concept of smart city? Or maybe you should, first of all, introduce us to what you mean by smart city.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Michael. Smart city is a concept of planning our urban centers in a way that they become more responsive and functional to emerging issues. And what do I mean by emerging issues? Our cities are expanding. And by UN estimates, against 2030 now, about 68% of the world population will be living in cities.
Wow.
And in Nigeria alone, presently, more than 45% of our population are in cities. I also left my village to live in Ibadan city, and I've refused to go back.
Oh, wow.
So, as population is increasing in city, there are pressure on existing facilities, pressure on our land uses, and that's why you now have modification of land uses to our own detriment. Because we keep on cutting down all the forest zone, and at the end of the day, we open our urban spaces, no more vegetation cover, and that has implication for our health. All the areas that we used to have as green spaces, they are all with concrete now. So smart city is now saying that we should make our cities more organic, that we plan for more of green spaces. We don't become consumers in the way that the waste we are generating, our system cannot absorb it. And you will see it in our cities. The capacity to take care even of our solid waste is not so strong. And the seeming population is generating waste every now and then. So in smart city, it means we must make provision for all these facilities in proportion to the increase in our population size. Water supply, fire services, security service, all of them should be in line with the population. But as you see it in Nigeria, actually we don't know how many of us in Nigeria. We are only working by estimate.
Yeah, okay.
So that's a fundamental problem. So planning for our cities when we don't know how many people. And this is why town planning is having a serious challenge in the country. Even when you are saying, oh, let's plan for more water supply in the city of Ibadan, for how many people? Estimates. So what happens in another 10 years? We don't know. Because the land census 2006 up to now is still
it's contentious.
It's a debatable results. So when you now bring this concept of smart city and you bring street trading beside it, it means that even when you have planned that, okay, as the city is growing, this is what the width of our roads will look like. I said, okay, let's have it as 30 meters for all these service routes. But traders by the left, by the right, they have already taken 5 meters here, 5 meters here. So out of your 15 meters, you only have 5. And then it means that until the vehicle that is coming stops, the one going cannot go. And again, because we don't take care of our drainage system, they are blocked. So you will see this is rainy season. Oh, Ibadan is already in trouble now. You will see splash of the debris, everything on the road at the same time. So we might have spent money in planning for the city, both on paper and in starting some projects. But when we have this inability to enforce it, to let it be, we are just wasting not only our money, we are wasting away as a community.
I like your choice of the word inability to enforce. And, when you talk about inability to enforce, the laws on street trading, you also need to add the Siamese twins of street trading, which is street begging, particularly by minors. You have a lot of underage children begging, for alms on the roads. There are some of them at Agodi Gate there. There are some of them in front of Mokola Road. They even have a community in the middle of the road at Baggy, New Baggy. And you begin to ask the question, what exactly do we need to say to these people that we are not saying? Basically,
there's a place for begging them. There's a place for advocacy, but there's a place to take the bull by the horn. We are the government. We need to say this is what we want. I remember some years ago when Lagos State government started one-way issue. I missed my way one day, even with a diplomatic car. I was in trouble that day.
Whoa.
We spoke grammar. The man was just behaving as if he's deaf and dumb.
You've broken the law, so don't speak.
No, this is one way. And we were saying that 4 days ago, we passed through this. He said that was 4 days ago. But today,
something has changed.
Things have changed. So we fill out the papers. It was at the point of payment that they were now say, okay, because this is diplomatic, something we assume as foreigners, you don't know the something. But that taught us a lesson that today, if I'm driving in Lagos, I became overcautious. So all this underage on the streets, my worry is not even about them. My worry is about what they will become in another 10 years. They'll become another set of hoodlums. Because we are not planning any future for them.
We need action.
And to them, these children on the streets now, I don't know whether they are now... In fact, they themselves are already street traders. Because they are doing trading activities and they're there. If you need to exchange currency...
Yeah, they change money.
So they are also into business. It means we need to deal with them.
Deal with them.
We need to.
You have very strong words.
Yes.
Deal with them.
Deal with them.
Who deals with them?
The government has a role.
Okay.
Those children, jabola torun. Some people give birth to them. So we need to get their parents and see how can you just give birth to a child and at age 6, 7, they're just there. I do know that when you see an area boy, there's an area father somewhere. That's taking percentage. So those children that you see at Iwo Road, Mokola, and wherever, they do take returns to certain places later in the evening.
So we
need to trace that.
We have shadow parties that we need to trace.
Okay,
so I need you to address all the critical stakeholders in this matter. And if you can, I'd like you to address them in the language of the environment. You can speak in Yoruba. I particularly want you to address, I start from the bottom now, those that you just addressed now. Parents who are giving birth to children, just giving birth to children. Of course, in this part of the world, we say, Ọlọ́run ló ń fún yàn lọ́mọ. Now, ẹ já bímọ sí, àbí bó wá ni, ẹ bá wọn yẹn sọ̀rọ̀ nílé.
Ó dára láti bímọ sí, ẹ máa bí sí, ẹ máa rẹ̀ sí. Ṣùgbọ́n ọmọ tá a bí tá a kọ́, kì í ṣe pé yóò tẹ̀ ta lé tá a kọ́ nìkan, yóò so wàhálà kọ́ wa lọ́rùn lọ́jọ́ alẹ́ ni. So àwọn ọmọ tó ń dà kiri ẹsẹ̀ títí wọ̀nyí táwọn náà ti wá di ọjà fúnra wọn tá ń tà. A fún wọn lọ́jọ́ ọ̀la, ilé ìwé wọn ò lọ, iṣẹ́ kankan wọn ò kọ́. Ẹ̀kọ́ wo ni wọ́n fẹ́ kọ́ lójú títì tí wọ́n ń dúró sí lójoojúmọ́? Ọdún 10 sásìkò yìí sì mọ orú àwọn ọmọ yẹn pé wọ́n máa ti gbé gbá nǹkan tágbára lógun òní ká. Torí mi máa ń bira mi ni pé àwọn tá à ń wò lé ni pé unknown gunmen ni wọ́n, àwọn bandits ni, aṣá lórúkọ òyìnbó la kàn fún gbogbo wọn, group kan náà ni gbogbo wọn as far as I'm concerned. So gbogbo wọn wọ̀nyí ká nípa fún wọn lọ́jọ́ ọ̀la lọ́jọ́ sí tí wọ́n kàwé àbí wọ́n níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yóò ṣòro fún wọn láti dé nǹkan tán dà sáwùjọ yìí lénìí. So àwọn ọmọ tó ń gba ẹsẹ̀ títì yìí náà lónìí wọ́n máa di wàhálà fún wa lọ́jọ́ ọ̀la.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká bọ́ sórí àwọn tí wọ́n ń tajà ní ẹ̀gbẹ́ títì. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn ní ṣọ́ọ̀bù wọn ní àta abájókòó kalẹ̀, àwọn kan ti wà ní títì ń rí ọjà tàjù wá lọ. Ẹ jẹ́ káwa náà bọ́ títì, àbí bó bá jẹ́ pé títì láti pawó, ẹ jẹ́ pa ní títì tájókòó kalẹ̀ táwọn kásẹ̀ lẹ́sẹ̀ báyìí táwọn retí pé àwọn kan ń bọ̀, àwọn tó ń bọ̀ wá rajà yín, àwọn kan ti.
Àwọn tó wà ní tòsí
wọ́n ti fà wọ́n lápá ní títì.
lápá.
Bó o ní ká ṣe yanjú eléyìí?
Wàhálà pé à ń pàtẹ ọjà sẹ́sẹ̀ títì, ewu ló jẹ́ fún ẹ̀mí àwọn tó ń tajà ń bẹ̀ àtàwọn èrònà yòókù náà tó ń lo ojú pópó. Òye yìí ni gbogbo wa wá gbọ́dọ̀ ní wípé ìgbà yòówù tá a bá fi ṣọ́ọ̀pù wa sílẹ̀ nínú ilé tá a gbé ọjà wá sí ẹnu ọ̀nà ní sí orí pópó ọ̀nà láti tà, a lè tajà ń tòótọ́ ká pawó lọlé. Ṣùgbọ́n àǹfààní yòókù tó yẹ kí ìlú jẹ pé mò ń lọ ilé kí n tètè délé, súnkẹrẹ gbàkẹrẹ ọkọ̀ yóò gba ìfàkókò ṣòfò, a fi owó ṣòfò, a fi epo náà tí mọ́tò ń lò a fi ṣòfò. Tí jàǹbá bá tún wá ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ojú pópó wọ̀nyí, ewu yẹn máa ń pọ̀. Mo rántí láwọn ọdún mélòó kan sẹ́yìn ní Ọjọ́, àwọn mọ́tò tó gbé epo yẹn tó bá ṣe ń bọ̀ fìyàn náà ló fi máa kàn wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀mí èèyàn lọ báyẹn. Àti pé àwọn ọmọ léńjéléńjé kan wà náà sì tán ń di wóróbo lé wọn lórí. A mọ̀ pé àti jẹ ló ń lé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn kan lọ síbẹ̀, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn nǹkan tí ó ta jẹ ká bá wà ń pàdé nǹkan tí ó jẹ wá. Yóò dára, yóò sì ṣàǹfààní fún wa pé ọjà wa tátà ká má gbé wá síbi ojú pópó ọ̀nà. Pápá jùlọ tá bá tún wá ń rìn láwọn ìlú láńlá wa, ẹwà tó yẹ kí ìlú kó fúnyàn àkìrí gbogbo kàn mọ́ ṣe wútúwútú. ṣùgbọ́n tí gbogbo ẹ̀ bá lọ létòlétò bó ṣe tá a tẹ̀lé àwọn ètò yẹn àlàáfíà ara tiwa náà.
mo rò pé ìgbà tá a bá lówó lápò wa ni ìlú òtò rẹwà.
ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá rí lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ gbà owó tá a ní lápò náà tá à ń pa yẹn a tún fi lọ ń ra wàhálà fúnra wa ni. kí náà fà ní owó téèyàn pa tó lówó lápò lọ́jọ́ lóòótọ́ tó dẹ̀ wá jẹ́ pé tírélà kankan wà lọ́jọ́ kan ló sì bá mú ọ̀kan ṣẹlẹ̀ nífẹ̀ẹ́ láìpẹ́ yìí tó jẹ́ pé ìyá àtàwọn ọmọ mẹ́rin ni igi yẹn tó mọ́tò yẹn tó kó igi ló wó lù lẹ́sẹ̀ títì ìyá yẹn máa ń ta oúnjẹ lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ títì ni obìnrin yẹn dákẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ọmọ 3 dákẹ́ èyí tí ò kú tí mo láǹfààní láti rí ní 7th day hospital nílé Ifẹ̀ ọmọ yẹn gan wọ́n ń wò ní pé tó bóyá ajẹ́yè bóyá amáyè kí láǹfààní owó tí ìyá yẹn ti pa ní títì yẹn tó sì lọ láàbọ̀ ọjọ́ rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ yẹn.
tó bá tiẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé àwa à ń rò wípé bóyá a ṣe ń rò pé ṣó dáa àbí kò dáa ìjọba ń kọ́ ìjọba tó ṣe títì tó fẹ̀ dáadáa tí ìjọba wa pẹ̀yìn dàtàn táwọn èèyàn wá bọ́ títì tíjọba náà ń wò pé ẹ fi wọ́n lẹ̀ wọ́n lé ohun tí wọ́n ó jẹ ni wọ́n ń wá.
ohun tí wọ́n ó jẹ ni wọ́n wá ṣùgbọ́n ìjọba wa ní ilẹ̀ wa ń bì yìí iṣẹ́ wà fún àwọn ìjọba láti ṣe iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ó sì ṣe yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀ nípa pé ká rọ̀ wọ́n ká bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ kí wọ́n kọ́kọ́ mọ̀ pé tẹ́ ẹ bá ṣe ohun tó túmọ̀ sí lélẹ́yìí tẹ́ ẹ bá ṣe ohun tó túmọ̀ sí lélẹ́yìí lẹ́yìn rírọ̀ ìjọba wa nílò láti wá sójú iṣẹ́ pé tó o bá ṣe ìjìyà rẹ̀ lélẹ́yìí èrèdí tí gbogbo wa fi dípá akọ etí akànkan pákó mọ́ etí àgbọ̀n náà ni pé ta ni ó mú mi sí àwọn ìjọba náà sì wò ó pé yìí sì nílò wọn lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí o torí ẹ̀ làwọn náà fi
tíjọba bá léèyàn kún títí wọ́n ti fẹ́ pa wá o wọ́n fẹ́ gbàjẹ́ lẹ́nu wa ìtàwọn èèyàn ń sọ nìyẹn kí ni ìjọba ò tí ì ṣe tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ẹ sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé ó yẹ kí ìjọba kó bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ kí àwọn èèyàn yìí rí i wípé ìta ń ṣe ní tòótọ́ ó léwu ó ń ṣe ìjàmbá fún ẹ̀mí èèyàn àti dúkìá ìjọba àti gbogbo ń ta ní ó dàbí pé kò tí ì sí àjọsọ yé ọ̀rọ̀.
ṣe rí ara àwọn àjọsọ yẹn náà nìkan ta tún wá sí iléeṣẹ́ yín fún lẹ́nìí yìí ṣe àwọn pé bá a ṣe ń sọ yìí àwọn etí kan náà tún ń gbọ́ pé wọ́n tún sọ lórí rédíò Splash FM náà pé ká má ṣe báyìí ká má ara sísọ náà nìyẹn ṣùgbọ́n ní pàtàkì jùlọ ìka tó bá ṣẹ̀ tọ́ba bá ti gé ó máa ń ṣe ẹ̀kọ́ fún àwọn yòókù even nínú ilé ní abẹ́ ọ̀dẹ̀dẹ̀ gbogbo wa tọmọ kan bá ń dàgbà tó bá ti rí i pé gbogbo ohun tóun bá ti ṣe àṣegbé ni tó bá ti yá ọmọ ìyá wa di korán àwa ta ni ó mú mi sí èmi náà ní alpha àti omega ìwà yòówù tí mo bá wù so níwọ̀n ìgbà tí ìjọba ò bá ti sọ pé ìka tó ṣẹ̀ ká gé e lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ gbà yóò máa bàjẹ́ sí ni àwa túmọ̀ sí pé gbogbo owó iyebíye tíjọba náà ná àní rí kò sẹ́ni tó máa kọjá ní challenge lẹ́nu ijọ́ mẹ́ta yìí sìn tí ò ní wúyàn ṣe mọ̀ pé náà yẹn ń tàn dáadáa gbogbo àwọn tí ń ta wóróbo lẹ́sẹ̀ títì wọ́n ti yá gbé bábu àyà kan sí wọ́n ti tì kò sí ìlú èbó náà jù báwọn lọ ohun tí wọn tó yàtọ̀ nílùú èbó náà nìyẹn ṣùgbọ́n ní títí wọn téèyàn kan bá wá to wóróbo síbẹ̀ lọ́la ó ti mọ̀ pé fáìnì tó ń fún wọn gan-an bó fọ́kóló rẹ̀ kò lè ràn án ṣùgbọ́n bí bàyá kan wò pé ó dà pọ́n ọmọ bàbá baálẹ̀ lókè ọjà ni ó dà pọ́n ní ẹ̀gbọ́n bàbá rẹ̀ ní kíní àṣà sọ di ọ̀rọ̀ rọ̀hún so iṣẹ́ wà fún àwọn aláṣẹ ìjọba wa láti wò wípé ohun tí ò dáa kò lóko méjì.
All right, you're still talking points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. Let's return to English and particularly ask my guests to address these stakeholders that we addressed in Yoruba language. Can we do that in 2 minutes, madam? Just all the stakeholders.
The stakeholders that are involved and that are needed seriously to curb this menace include the traders themselves. They need to know and come to consciousness that what they are doing is bad. Number 2, the media. And that's why we have come to your station today, and we are very happy that you are collaborating with us. The media should keep on talking about it. In fact, jingles in our local dialect that will allow everyone to know that this thing is bad. Number 3, our parliament, there's a job for them to do. And not just about legislating, also following up in terms of monitoring the implementation of such a policy. And it will also be good for us as a community that periodically we evaluate that, okay, we have asked people to be off the street for the last 6 months. Let's go back there. Most of the time we don't check back. We just thought, oh, we have said it and people are only abiding. So there's a place for monitoring. And for the executives of our municipalities, the governor, the local government chairman, we need strong political will from them.
All right.
We know they are all traveling. They do see what is going on in some other spaces all over the world. Africa is a beautiful place, and our cities can be better.
All right.
If we do things right.
Okay, so when we return from this break, we'll conclude this conversation. Please don't go away. It's still Talking Points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan.
Splash FM 105.5.
Don't worry, Ma. He'll be home on time, just like his dad.
Are you sure?
Yes, Ma. I'm cooking their favorite jollof with Sonia tomato mix. They are here.
Hey, is the jollof ready?
See? Right on time.
Your loved ones will always rush home for tasty meals prepared with Sonia tomato mix.
Mommy, the jollof is yummy.
I wouldn't miss this jollof for anything.
It's so good eating together with a family.
Yes, Ma. All thanks to Sonia.
Sonia tomato mix brings you together. Proudly Nigerian.
Do you know that you have the right to quality broadcasting? The National Broadcasting Commission says any person, group of persons, or organization aggrieved by the content of a broadcast or the conduct of a broadcast station may lodge a complaint to the station and all right to the Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, number 20, Ibrahim Taiwo Street, Asokoro, Abuja. Or send a mail via info@nbc.gov.ng. Please ensure that your complaint includes name of the broadcast station, title of the program, date and time of broadcast, and essence of the complaint. Also, remember to include your name, address, telephone number, email, and append your signature. Note that your complaint must reach the NBC within 14 days of the queried broadcast. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
Every child loves Bobo, my special Bobo Bobo drink. Every adult loves nutritious Yogo Yogo drink. Tasty creamy Yogo 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 drink. My Bobo, my Yogo, ooh la la la.
Bobo, filled with vitamins and minerals, is every child's favorite as it makes them sharp, leaves them bright, and keeps them healthy. The taste is awesome and the feeling is so indescribably special. It comes in different flavors and is available in shops nationwide. Yogo yogurt is creamy, yummy, tasty, and specially made with vitamins and minerals to keep every adult truly fulfilled. It contains probiotics for your good health and nutrition. It has different flavors and is available in shops nationwide. Products of Bobo Fruits and Beverages. Ooh la la.
Attain the knowledge you require to join the broadcasting industry. Splash FM Media Academy offers premium training to both aspiring and practicing personalities. And enroll now at Splash FM Media Academy for a certificate of proficiency in broadcast journalism. Splash FM Media Academy courses include Introduction to Presentation, Basic Production, Digital Media, Yoruba Presentation, plus interactive practical mentorship session with veterans and industrial placement. To register, visit the Splash FM Media Academy beside White House, Felele, Ibadan. You can also register online at splashfm1055.com/academy or call 0705-439-3332. Visit our social media pages on Facebook and Instagram at Splash FM Academy for more details. Realize your potential and pursue a career in radio broadcasting today. Splash FM Media Academy, preserving media integrity.
Sense of fresh.
I feel the freshness. I got the confidence. With the liquid fuel chewing gum, not scent of fresh. I'm feeling good. I feel so yes, I feel so fresh. I feel so fresh. I got confidence. Scent of fresh. The correct chewing gum, not scent of fresh. No darling with scent of fresh.
Sense of fresh chewing gum. Trust the freshness.
Olúwa yóò ṣohun gbogbo tó fẹ́ o, àṣẹ ń bẹ lẹ́nu wòlíì rẹ̀, Prọfẹ̀sà Òjó, ọmọ lójú Jésù.
Ìsọjí orí afẹ́fẹ́ ti dé. Gbogbo wa ká máa kíra wa kú oríire. Bí Olúwa ti ń bẹ tí ẹ̀mí rẹ̀ wá. Ọgbọ̀n ìṣẹ́jú ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni wòlíì Ọlọ́run Prọfẹ̀sà Òjó, ọmọ lójú Jésù, bàbá Ṣẹ́gẹ̀dógó. Tó fi máa wàásù gbàdúrà fún gbogbo ènìyàn láti túlẹ̀ jáde. Mú wa wọnú ògo titun pẹ̀lú ìfàmì òróró yàn tún wòlíì Ọlọ́run aláyé. Prọfẹ̀sà Òjó, ọmọ lójú Jésù, bàbá Ṣẹ́gẹ̀dógó. Lórí ìkànnì yìí Splash 105.5 FM. Láàrin aago mẹ́wàá alẹ́ sí aago mẹ́wàá àbọ̀ alẹ́ lójoojúmọ́. Gbogbo ìgbòkègbodò rẹ látàárọ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ yọrí sí rere. Èṣù ò gbọ́dọ̀ gba eré ọwọ́ rẹ dànù. Ó ṣe pàtàkì kó wà nínú ẹ̀mí. Láago mẹ́wàá alẹ́ pẹ̀lú wòlíì Ọlọ́run tí náà ẹ̀mí mímọ́ jó bulabula nínú ẹ̀. Prọfẹ̀sà Òjó, ọmọ lójú Jésù. Ó di dandan kó o ní tẹsítímọ́nì. Tó o bá ti ń gbọ́ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. Jésù lolúwa.
Enter the place and it brighten. Make everybody they wonder. Waiting because all the shine. Lush hair, lush hair. Long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair, lush hair. So you want to slay? Slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Straight or curly. You know they tango. Lie. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. You wonder how I shine like this. I'm on a lush hair, be the coco. Say you want to know. And if you wanna be fine like me, I can show you where to go. A lush hair, be the coco.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
Splash FM 105.5.
All right, you're still talking points on Splash FM. Let's conclude our conversation on street trading. My concern is the phenomenon of street trading and how it affects, our urban planning and the smart city. And I've been having this conversation with registered town planner, Professor Grace Olukoi. Let's conclude this way, madam. I was saying earlier that okay, maybe it was off the microphone really. I want to stay on one very important item for me, which has to do with political will in terms of enforcement. We have beautiful laws everywhere in Nigeria. And then when it comes to implementation, then we fall short. So the question basically is, who should enforce the ban on street trading and the rest? Who particularly in all the spheres of government? Is it the police? Is it the ESO? What exactly? Or do we have the environmental officers that we used to have, Wole and the rest of them? Who should enforce it?
All right, thank you. This advocacy we are doing, we're actually working in conjunction with Oyo State's road and transport
road maintenance agency. Okay.
This agency, they are responsible to say that our roads networks are in proper shape, and in recent time they are doing fantastically, because you discover that once a vehicle is parked wrongly, in fact, first week of this year, I was given a fine by Diayore, was the local government in that should be Oluyole, that I actually parked to make phone call, and they said, no, I did not put hazard light on. That if that hazard light was on, they would have known that, okay, I only parked to make phone call. So they said I should pay the fine, and I did.
So
to me, that agency has a serious work to do.
Okay.
We have some other agencies that are working with them. I know the civil defense, at times you see them on our roads, especially whenever there are social events around.
Social events, okay.
So then, ditto for road safety corps.
Yeah, okay.
They have a role to play. Not just to be asking motor riders to wait and say particulars. There's a place where they can help us to curb that. Yeah. And also the Iyalojas, the head of market women, they have a role to play in talking to their people. And if anyone defaults, if they see the stress around it before the person will get the fine pain and all that, then they will also be cautioned.
All right.
So those are the people that I think we have. But much more importantly, families, we need to have behavioral change. That even though we are looking for a source of livelihood, we should not endanger our lives. We should not endanger other road users.
All right. Thank you very much, Madam. I've been speaking with Professor of Urban Planning and Environmental Management, registered town planner, also with Leeds City University. She's also a very strong member of the Women in Town Planning, Mrs. Grace Lukoy. Welcome. And thank you very much for coming, Madam. She also came with other members of the Women in Town Planning group, the Ibadan branch of it, Town Planner Eniola Agbola, as well as Town Planner Omofuma Adetola. Thank you all for coming. And the job is done for